Good afternoon and good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel. And it is Wednesdays with Skep, and it's Coffee Stream 507. And Skep is having some mic issues. So
Can
hopefully this time
can you
they're
hear me
working.
now? Can
There
you hear
you
me now?
are.
I'm sorry about
There
all
is
the
Skep. It's all good.
equipment
Shit
hassles.
happens.
Yeah.
It's all good. So since last night's stream, the introduction to the opening lines to Big Gay Al's song in the USO show in the
Yes.
movie, bombs are flying, people are dying, the whole world's gone to hell, but how are you? So that's why I titled the stream that way. Because
I'm super.
honestly,
Thanks for
that's what it feels like. It really it feels like the world is going to hell. Um you it we've got what all the shit that's going on here in Canada, and yes, like I was saying last night, the Emergencies Act should never have been put into place. Trudeau has been grasping for power. Like, his true colors and his party's true colors have been shown, but the rhetoric that is coming out, like that there's a new rumor that's coming out that the government's going to freeze every Canadian's bank account for 10 days. That's
okay. Where's
unfounded.
that? Where's that coming from? Where was that reported?
It's so
Was
this
that
is what's
reported in
coming
more
out of
than one
like
place?
crazy right-wing social media circles.
Yes. It's
And
just the usual crap. They always
yeah,
do that.
and unfortunately, um places like Rebel Media and the Post Millennial are not helping anything,
Gracious sakes.
because
Yes.
they are just as bad as the fucking Daily Stormer and fucking like The Hill and all that crap, right?
Mm.
Like, they're just as bad. They're just on the other extreme. And you've got Ezra Levant, spouting off about shit, and a lot of people in the States listen to Rebel Media, and they don't really understand the Canadian system, and they don't understand that Rebel Media is about 95% full of bullshit.
Yeah.
And so they look at Rebel Media and they're like, oh my God, Canada is, like
MAGA.
I said last night, like, Canada is fucking Justin Trudeau is, Mao and Hitler and Stalin and Lenin all wrapped up in one package. And, Canada is already, like, it's just like, is Canada in a good position? No. Right?
Mm.
Absolutely not. But nobody is right now. Let's be honest. Is anybody in the Western hemisphere or the Western world right now in a good place?
I
Like, any country?
Not really.
No.
Probably the best. One of the best is Israel.
Yeah. But I mean, like, on the
In
whole.
terms of overall prosperity, their problem is there's a knife to their throat.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we as a Western world, like, we are not doing well in any nation. Like, we're all at each other's throats. Our economies are shit.
Yep.
Our governments are shit.
Our currencies are
Like,
crap.
our currencies are devalued. Like,
Yeah.
this is not a Canada problem.
And
I am
this is
so sick of hearing, oh, you fucking Canadians, oh, you're all fucked. Oh, it's like, dude, wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
And look at what's going on in your own country and see how fucked you are before you start laughing about how fucked somebody else is.
and human beings almost never fail to disappoint, do they?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
So,
It is
well,
amazing.
uh, let me tell you about Texas today.
Oh boy.
It's cold. It's freezing. It's frigid cold. Let me just tell you how cold this is. This is like the wind chill is down to 13 degrees
Jesus, for
Fahrenheit.
Texas, for Texas,
Yeah,
that's
it's
insane.
-8. That's -8 for you. You know
It's
that's freaking cold. That's really take the heat away from you quickly.
Pincalo had to take the youngest to school for me
Hmm.
because the wind was so bad.
Yeah.
It's minus so the it's -7 Celsius. Real feel is -17
Hmm.
because
Wow.
there is such a strong wind right
Sure.
now. And it's blowing through, like if I walk into my kitchen, I can hear it blowing through like the vents for the hood and the stove and everything. It's crazy. Um but it was so dangerous this morning. Pincalo was like, I'm gonna take the little one to school. And he got back and he's like, you wouldn't have been able to hear where you're going. The wind is so bad. Like, and it does affect, like you wouldn't think, but if there is a really strong wind that is blowing, first of all, in your ears and then making everything else around you make a racket, like the branches of the trees and everything else, it does distort the sound patterns, and it is very hard to hear. Same with
Mhm.
rain.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Rain can really screw with you.
Yep. Echolocation goes all to hell.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah, it's going pretty crazy here, and but it's just very frustrating for to hear, to deal with the reality of the fact that the Emergencies Act shouldn't happen, and
hmm,
then to deal with the hyperbole on top of it. It's like you're
yeah.
not helping. Like, what, weren't we all laughing at the other side for being so hyperbolic? Why are you doing the exact same thing?
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you call that shit out, and you're you know labeled as the other side, and it's like, no dude, both of you are morons.
We can't both be morons.
Oh,
Oh man.
well,
What a
let's
deal.
let's say hello to chat. Let's
I
see
was
here.
I was just
Austin is
doing,
here.
yeah, Costin's here, and Ben Callow's in chat. Wikipedia snippets there. I see. Duck Dog. Um,
Pincolo's got a good point. He said the absolute biggest problem, which is to say what I said, and which is how Pincolo, or which is how it, it has been
this thing
co-opted.
has been co-opted about
It
2 weeks
has.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and confirmed to be a religious movement over
Yeah.
vaccine mandate.
Yeah. It
So
started
he's not
out
wrong.
as yeah, it started out as an anti-mandate thing.
Yep.
And it turned into a super religious right, um really really racist, like actually racist.
Really.
um oh yeah, like one of the leaders, one of the organizers, Pat King, uh Pincolo and I were listening to something. I can't remember what it was, but there was a clip of Pat King in it, and he's talking about how Sikh people are, um they're how they're horrible, and they're trying to take over the trucking industry, and how they want everybody to be Sikh and they don't like Christians. And I'm like, have you ever met an actual Sikh? Like,
Yeah.
you moron. Like, the Sikhs have been one of the most willing groups of immigrants to come to
Mm.
Canada and work their asses off and be
Yes.
very patriotic, because they are happy that they get to be Canadian. and Sikh without
And
any persecution.
and they're kind of passionate about the stuff that they do. Have you
They
noticed that?
are. They're very
Um,
passionate, and
they
they
tend to
went
be
to
very good at it too.
yeah, and they like the units in World War One and Two that fought for
We're
Canada, the
feared.
Sikh units. Holy
Yeah,
shit, dude.
yeah,
So like the complete lack of just knowledge and this Christians for crypto nonsense and this touting of Andrew Wakefield's bullshit vaccine studies. It's like this is like I was saying, they're breeding a whole new breed of anti-vaxxer.
yep.
And it's
Great.
scary. It's scary as fuck. And it's like it's not helping the actual cause, which is, this COVID stuff needs to end.
Yeah.
Right? That was a valid argument. That was a very valid argument.
Yeah, I think
And they're
everybody's done with COVID, and we believe
yeah.
it's endemic. That's uh, I think that's where the conversation eventually will go. I
Yeah.
don't think it's there now. There's still really a deep division between essentially Democrat-run states and Republican-run states about the importance of masks, the importance of vaccine mandates,
Mm-hmm.
and vaccine passports, and the like. Um, that's more than even this. Oh, sorry, my dogs are fighting in my lap.
That's all
Stop
good.
that. Yeah, that's the puppy just getting too aggressive, getting
That's okay. I have
place.
I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old that fight over me on me, so I know how you feel.
Yeah, it's, I had this happened with my children, my grandchildren, who I got to raise from.
I
the
want to
time
sit
that
on
they were
mommy. No, I want to sit
lap
on
sitting.
mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I have dogs, and the dogs bite each other just like the children did.
Yep.
So anyway,
and then we've got Russia. And
then there's Russia. Oh my God! Do you really stop that? Come on, give her eye back. All right. Anyway, the do you think there's anything to Joe Biden paying back Ukrainian oligarchs by standing up to by saying this is the line with Putin? That's essentially what Joe Biden is doing, and Joe Biden and
those
Putin is
sanctions
just
are
laughing
dumb.
at it.
Those sanctions are
so
really stupid. Like I've heard the sanctions from Joe Biden, and I was like, I was just sitting there going, that is the most weak. Like it would almost be better not to do something if that's what you're going to do.
You know what you're doing there. You are inconveniencing the crap out of banks that do business with the military and the trade bank.
Yeah.
In Russia, the two financial institutions that were really affected. That's the biggest, and you know what that is? That's a cost to consumer. Mm-hmm. I promise you that translates to a cost to consumer. Has no effect from the Russians' point of view. All they do is change a few numbers on a ledger program, so that things move in a different path, and the same transactions happen.
Yeah,
it's so transparently dumb.
It is like and it sounded
village.
It sounded literally like the equivalent to me of a parent who's at the park and their child is beating up another child, and the parent is sitting on the bench going, "Stop it. Stop it. Hey, stop it. Don't do that." Like not actually getting up and taking their aggressive child and going, "Hey, Stop
Hey,
being an asshole. We're going home.
this is the end.
You know, like that.
Yeah. No.
That's what Joe Biden is doing. And honestly, it would almost be better if he didn't do anything. Like, because it makes
It
him
would
look
be
even
better.
more stupid. Like,
It would be much better. It would be better if he had a sane policy about pipelines.
yeah.
It's almost schizophrenic, the stuff that he's doing. I'm just appalled at the way that's going. This interesting
And we've got the
interesting political
Ukrainian.
turmoil in both our countries these days.
Yeah. And we've got the Ukrainian government urging its citizens to leave Russia.
Yeah, and asking Joe Biden to stop the rhetoric about an invasion.
Yeah.
This is so funny. They're dithering about an invasion. Putin already declared victory and basically walked off the field, dropped the mic, and walked off the stage. He utterly has cowed NATO and the West and all that stuff. Yeah, offer
Because
NATO
nobody wants to go to
to
war.
Ukraine. I dare you. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
I fucking dare you.
Because nobody wants to go to war. And he knows
Do you think
it.
they will?
Nobody,
you think they might offer NATO to Ukraine?
No, absolutely not. But he knows that nobody is going. He knows that, unfortunately, the Ukraine is all that's going to happen is people are going to yell, right? And it's going to happen. What's going to happen with Russia and the Ukraine is the same thing that's happening with China and the Uyghurs. Stop doing that, China. It's wrong.
Okay, we'll come
Don't
over and
do
send our
that,
athletes to your
Russia.
Olympics.
Yeah, don't do that, Russia. It's mean.
And China just says, that'd sound a lot better if you were on your knees.
Yeah, it would sound a lot better if you were on your knees and your mouth was like, and you weren't talking. Exactly. Like
turned
that.
Into a pizza at midnight.
Yeah, like exactly. That's just like, and Russia knows it. Russia knows, especially because of COVID, especially because of the state of what's going on in places like Canada and in New Zealand and whatever. He knows nobody wants to fight a world war. And that's what that would be at that point.
It certainly would be global in
and
scope.
He knows that nobody wants that. So he's basically, like you said, he's already got Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's got exactly what he wants.
I think the Ukrainian president knows that he's got the Ukraine. And so he's like, okay, everybody come back.
He certainly has those border provinces, very definitely. Yeah. As to whether or not he gets the rest of Crimea, I think that's still way, way up in the air.
Now, could there be a war between Russia and the Ukraine and whatever? That might happen. Like a regional war?
Here's what a lot of the smart people are saying that I've seen online, people I respect, are saying stuff like there'll be a false flag operation coming from the Ukraine side, attacking the Russians who are massed on the other side, giving them a pretext to come in and seize an area which they will continue to move forward and just take. And then what will happen is the Russians are going to turn around and say, we'll offer you your independence. You could be an independent country and, no more taxes. You get all your infrastructure, basically steal it, and but what's really going to happen is they will become effectively a province of Russia in everything but name.
Yeah.
So, and a puppet vote in the UN if they do in fact retain independent nationhood if they're recognized by the UN.
Right.
So, which they undoubtedly would be.
And yeah, and I said, I don't think that anybody wants a world war, right? Well, nobody wants a world war, but nobody in particular right now,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna want to, because of what's going on. Everyone's gonna want to recover from the restrictions.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The economies have to recover from the restrictions. The other thing that's going to happen is, this is happening in Canada too. Your rate of inflation is going up too. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yes, I did. It's now at 5%.
Yes. And where that hurts is at the bottom of the economy. 5% of somebody who only has $1,000 a month to live on is $50 to him is a much bigger deal than $50 to somebody who makes $100,000 a year.
Yep.
And there are a lot more people at the lower end of that wage grade.
Absolutely.
And they are the ones who get hit. Thing about it is, they get to vote too.
Yep.
And I wonder if Trudeau could actually be primaried effectively, or somebody run against him strongly in his own riding or district or county.
I wonder if that will
whatever
happen
they call
this
that.
time.
Is he in a riding?
It is a riding.
A riding. Okay, thank you.
Now, what could happen is somebody could run as an independent. At some they could start vying for a leadership position if it looks like he's going to lose his riding, because he has to lose his riding to an opposition person to lose his riding, and then he either has to step down, or there will be a review 6 months after the election for the losing party to review its leader. But I have a feeling that if Trudeau were to lose his riding, now I don't know for sure if he would step down or not. He might have enough hubris to stick around till that review happens and have the rest of his party go, "No, asshole, go away." He may have that much ego. If he were to lose his riding, he may stick it out. Now, I could be wrong. He could very well lose his riding and then step down. But I would be more surprised if he did step down, if he lost his riding.
He knows. He already knows that history is going to remember him as a disgrace, doesn't he?
I don't know if he does.
I think he's just beginning to realize that. I have seen a different Trudeau than I've ever seen before. That guy the other night was a broken man, or not a broken man, but a man at the breaking point. He is deeply stressed and about to. I just,
Pink Hollow's got a good point, though. He says the problem with his riding is that it's so small that the chances of him actually losing are very insignificant. The Papineau riding has 120,000 people.
Okay. 75 to 80% are liberals.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's all thanks to 90,000 people in Papineau, fucking Quebec, that Trudeau is the. This is why when people are all of Canada voted for Trudeau. No, it was 70, 80,000 dumbasses in Papineau that voted for Trudeau. Oh,
So
it makes me so angry when I hear that.
so at any rate, I haven't heard of anything blowing up in Ukraine today.
No, I
Anybody in
haven't
chat
either.
heard anything about
Which is good.
yep. I'm just
Things not blowing up is always good.
yeah, I'm just checking since I subscribed to the Washington Post for 1 year for $9. Okay, they had a
Right.
deal, and I took that deal, sold them all my information. That's what really happened. They robbed me. But they said that these are the key updates. This is up as of updated today, about 5 minutes ago. So, Ukraine announced plans Wednesday to declare a state of emergency as the nation prepared to defend itself from an expected Russian invasion and fought off a new wave of cyber attacks that hit Ukrainian government and banking websites. The 30-day state of emergency, subject to approval by parliament, would impose curfews and restrict mass gatherings in certain regions if necessary to confront increased Russian aggression. To the chief Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council said it follows a call up of reservists as Ukraine braces for Russian President Vladimir Putin's next move.
See,
Yep.
that
So
is a
there you go.
national state of emergency.
It absolutely
That would definitely classify.
Well, did you see what the Russians did? When they reacted to the first wave of the U.S. sanctions, after Russian troops deployed into two pro-Moscow separatist regions of eastern Ukraine, Russia warned that Americans will feel the consequences, will fully feel the consequences. That's what they said, and Biden immediately came out and said, well, we're going to have to pay a price for this. It's going to be higher gasoline prices, but I really owe these oligarchs, so it's got to happen. Okay, I may have added that last part, but anyway.
Pincalo says, I did see a TikTok of something blowing up in Ukraine. I couldn't read it because what it said because it was all in Ukrainian. But the guy was live at the same time as he posted the video, and he sounded terrified in his live stream. Oh shit!
Wow. I had one other news item
Okay.
about Ukraine. This will make you feel so much better about the whole thing, really.
Oh, good.
Pope Francis asks for peace in Ukraine, says, situation is causing great pain in my heart. Makes it
Pope.
all about him. That's the first thing he did.
Hey, Pope, it's not about you, asshole. Just so you know.
The egotism? Yeah, exactly. Great pain in my heart. Oh, let's go get you a Xanax.
Yeah,
Father.
Xanax. Do you need a digitalis? Maybe? Are you having a heart attack? Oh my god,
egotistical.
What an asshole!
What a monster! Yeah, what a monster. Anyways, but
so apparently
leads a billion people. So anyway, sorry.
Pincalo sent me this story. Mm-hmm. About Tinder for teens, which kind of scares me.
That's nightmare fuel.
Apparently, Tinder for teens filled with sexual harassment and racism from a
Finishing
report.
your family by 16. My 3 kids and I are so happy.
Oh, yeah. So, a popular social app is accused of being a twisted tempest of taunts, tears, and temptation. Oh, fuck off. Are you going to be an alliteration asshole this whole article? I hope not.
It'd be a very brief reading if it is. Yeah, I do too. So phony.
I really hate that stupid alliteration in writing.
Yeah.
Yubo, which has been dubbed Tinder for teens. That's a weird name. So Yubo, which has been dubbed Tinder for teens, has sparked outrage after an investigation found it to be filled with sexual harassment and racism, among others unsavory things. Dude, you can stop at sexual harassment.
Yeah, no kidding. Please.
That's pretty damn unsavory. Like, I don't care like as much about the racism as I do about the sexual harassment.
This would be a pretty nice honeypot, though, trap for, if the authorities wanted to use it that way.
Yeah. Hey, Selected Boy, Dr. Functional, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys.
What I have heard about this site is sickening. Chris Phil, Britain's Minister for Tech and the Digital Economy, told the Times, a reporter for the paper posed as a 15-year-old on Yubo and spent 10 days being propositioned and turning down users asking for nude photos. Well, they're teenagers. What do you fucking expect?
Good Lord.
I'm sorry, but like, first of all, how do you know that pedophiles aren't pretending to be teenagers and going on there? Second of all, you don't expect teenagers to ask other teenagers for nudie pictures? Like, how horny did you forget how horny you were as a teenager reporter?
Yep.
Like, seriously, what the
part of it.
This is stupid. And like, drug use is allegedly a banned topic on the app, but it allegedly
euphemism?
Frequently came up on online discussions. The reporter recounted hearing a live streamed chat in which a man told a 15-year-old about acid and ketamine and asking if she would do a line off. Oh God, that's gross. Yeah, so pedophiles pretending to be teenagers. Okay.
Right.
The undercover journalist.
I think they're maps. I think they call them maps now in the rainbow thing. I don't know if they're allowed in the rainbow. Some rainbows seem to have them in them. Some rainbows do not. So I don't know if they're rainbow qualified or not.
So this says the undercover journalist also reported about a 16-year-old black male who was told by a user that they'd let him pick his cotton any day. Okay, so stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid, clumsy sexual innuendo. Okay.
Right. Noted.
Again, stupid.
Noted and moving on.
Stupid, clunky, racist sexual innuendo by dumbass teenagers who this right here. Okay. This right here, where we have dumb teenagers writing stupid shit like this without any fears or knowledge of what they're writing or consequences of fears of consequences. This shows how far we did go as a society away from racism to the point where people have stopped understanding how this shit really, do you know what I mean? Like,
no,
it's
really
just
is
so casual.
Well, yeah, there's almost a horseshoe effect to it too.
Yeah, we've gone
past the solution. We went way past the solution, and now we're back into problem areas, and the pendulum will have to swing back.
Yeah,
sure. Over time, people tend to eventually gravitate toward the rational thing. It's the thing that gives me hope for humankind sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Is that they they have they have kept doing the right thing ultimately when they had to, again and again and again, to not just keep the race going, but keep the race developing.
Yeah.
And that's the key. It's like anything uh, in nature. It's how fast you change, how fast you grow, how you thrive. Anyway,
So, because Yubo doesn't require any sort of age verification, adults are on the site. Why?
why do you think many
But
of them are Catholic clergy?
but
They're to help.
Yubo
I'm here
officials
to help
say
the children.
but Yubo officials say age gates are used to
I'm
prevent
sure. I'm
adults
sure
from
it'll be just
interacting with
fine.
younger users.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
The company also says it has extensive age verification or age and identity. Okay, it's okay. If you have teenagers on the app,
Yeah.
unless you're asking for their fucking social security number or their whatever number, like teenagers don't generally have identity. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
ID to verify.
No,
So how the hell are you doing that? And how are your age gates working to keep adults from interacting with kids? Like clearly they're not.
Yeah.
And like this is just a bad idea. A dating app for teenagers, it's just a bad idea.
No, there's nothing good about this. There's absolutely nothing good about this. There's no redeeming possibility for this application, in my opinion.
No. No.
And now, that said, I still think it should exist. I think it should be allowed to exist and exist unfettered.
Yep.
As long as they want to pump capital into that crap, knock yourself out. And if you're making a buck, knock yourself out too.
Now,
But
if you're a
just
parent
understand if you violate the law, and you might be under a little bit of scrutiny, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
You know,
And
and
also, if
AI
you're a
can track
parent,
that stuff even in a giant web base. All right,
if
anyway.
if you're a parent and you allow your kid to be on there, you're also an idiot.
Yeah, you're right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So there's that story, and I also have found a couple of. I found an article as well that I'm gonna read us about an asteroid. Hopefully, it's coming from no.
I was gonna say, can I root for the asteroid? Because I'm just kind of there.
We actually, everybody says they wish for an asteroid to come, but I honestly think that if that were to happen, we'd all be like, "Oh, this sucks." Just saying.
As bad as things are, where there is life, there is hope. I just hope humanity is developing fast enough to get off the planet in time. We've kind of soiled our nest, but maybe we learned the most important lesson we could have from that, and that is don't soil your nest. And you know, we can go out and colonize the universe. It's
Yeah.
like I was saying the other day on the show. Um, if there's if we never meet any other aliens, that to me tells me that there's a plan. Somebody's made a plan. If we are the only sentient beings in the universe, if we
Yeah.
truly are and could verify that somehow, that would say to me somebody planned this. We are
Yeah.
the result of somebody's plan. This is kind of a lot of trouble
Or
to
if we
set up our
found
reality.
or if we found other life forms that were like shaped like us. I think you said
Yeah,
if we had,
yes, that would really be that would be unusual.
yeah.
The chances of that
So
are just amazingly bad. Of that being
so
pure chance, I mean.
so this says springtime asteroid hit ramped up extinction rates, say scientists. The animals in the northern hemisphere would have been more vulnerable to intense heat just after winter.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is talking about the asteroid impact for that killed the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
No, this is a theoretical thing.
That's what it's representing.
Having So let's see. Having an asteroid slam into Earth was catastrophic for the dinosaurs, but the season of the strike may have substantially ramped up extinction rates for other species, research suggests. Scientists have discovered, uh, let's see. So scientists have discovered some evidence of the impact from 66 million years ago.
Yeah,
Which wiped out
wiped out.
three-quarters of Earth's species and created the
Yeah.
Chicxulub crater in modern-day Mexico. But I guess they're saying that it happened in spring. Um, they're saying it happened in the spring. So the timing of means that many of the animals north of the equator would have been particularly vulnerable to the
Mm-hmm.
intense heat wave that resulted from the collision, having just emerged from the harsh months of winter. Other animals may have fared better given that it was autumn, especially if they hunkered down in burrows. That's interesting. Like an interesting
So it was
hypothesis.
survivable.
Yeah, if so, because like animals could have been coming out of hibernation and stuff
Yeah.
up in the northern hemisphere, but animals say in the southern hemisphere could have just been going into hibernation.
Yeah.
So they were safer
Yep.
than the animals that were just coming out. Interesting.
And so, yeah, I
Good morning, cannibalistic
boy,
wizard, who says good morning, blind lady and old man.
the blind lady and old man show. That's what we should call ourselves. The Blom. ELOM.
So this
So
says the direct hit from the asteroid triggered an extreme global heat wave that proved lethal for many exposed animals. In the aftermath, many temperatures are thought to have plummeted into a nuclear winter, thus, uh, you know,
do you have
forming
any idea
giving the
what
other
the air
extinction.
what was
Hmm?
the air temperature? What was the air temperature, and for how long was it that hot, that extra hot?
I wonder
From
that I've never been able to find out.
that's what I would really like to know.
He's not old, just seasoned, says Functional. There you go.
Very well seasoned. Very well seasoned. Stop barking. Get out.
um, when let's see, to be able to fight that nuclear winter, you first had to be able to survive the actual impact, said Melanie Winter. Uh, said Melanie uh, during a paleontologist.
No,
Uh,
Melanie During. Melanie
Melanie
During. That's her
During, yeah,
name. A
a
paleontologist at
paleontologist.
Uppsala University in Sweden.
Uppsala
Yeah.
University. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
When the asteroid hit, it blasted molten rock into space, which crystallized and rained back onto Earth as impact spheroids. Oh boy,
But
raining rock.
the last sentence that she said in the previous paragraph, where she says anything in the southern hemisphere already sheltering had a much better chance of surviving. That's why she's saying that, it
That
was
makes
just,
sense.
Yeah, it was right. It was just a bigger hit for the northern hemisphere generally, and it blasted molten rock. The crystallized rain back as impact spherules. The same day, the scientists found some of these spherules washed in the gills of fossilized paddlefish and sturgeon excavated from a fossil site called Tanis in North Dakota.
Could you imagine being a
Wow.
fish and like having these spherules just like in like and like because there's no way you could avoid that, right? Like everything that would have been affected by that, like into the spherules would have gone into the lakes and
Everywhere.
into everywhere. Like it was just I can't keep moving. I'm streaming. Watch. I will move later. um,
Just wave your arm around.
let's see. What's the Lord gave and the Lord hath taken away. The discovery of more spherules around the fossils suggests that the glassy particles were still falling when the fish perished, linking the time of death to the day or even to the hour of the impact. The fish appeared to have died buried in the sediment shaken up from the collision. I forgot that the spherules are like glass
Wow.
because of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
It basically pulverized the rock and turned it into glass. So it basically was
Right.
raining glass
Yeah, it's flying through the air, so it
on the
compacts
planet.
into a sphere. And God, that just what a nightmare.
That's what would
It's
happen if an asteroid hit us, guys, like big enough.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think we want that. Like really,
It
I mean, I know we say we do, but I don't
there's
think we
we get hit
do.
by a decent sized one every few hundred years.
Yep.
Every 400 or 500 years, we get hit by a pretty good rock. There's
Yep.
it's the universe that tries to kill you, and what doesn't kill you makes you hardier. If you survive, you'll be hardier, and I think that's one of the real themes of existence is becoming hardier.
Yeah. There's a great documentary on YouTube,
Hmm.
and it's by a channel called Naked Science, and I think it's a National
Oh, I know.
Geographic
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I know naked science.
But they have a 5-part series called Catastrophe, and it goes through the 5 big extinction events that on Earth.
Hmm.
It goes so the first one is the birth of the Earth. This is the first, and it's 48-minute like documentaries, right?
Right.
And so the first one is the birth of the Earth, and it talks about the period of high orbital bombardment. It talks about the formation of the moon and the theory of the planet, uh, the other planet colliding with Earth um, to form the moon. And then it goes into the next part, which is it talks about snowball Earth and how scientists believe that the Earth was actually frozen for almost 1 billion years at one point.
Yeah.
Um, and then the cyanobacteria kind of came up and started producing oxygen about 600 million years, only 600 million years ago.
Yes. That
Think about that, guys.
I
Only
was there. I was
600
just a
million
kid.
years ago.
I was just a kid then, but I remember it was boring.
And
We just
then
ate
we
ice.
have um the third part, which is the planet of fire, and it talks about the Permian extinction.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the Chicxulub impact in the fourth part, and then it goes into our time on Earth and our evolution through being, cave dwelling and surviving the ice age of that era, and becoming farmers and animal husbandry, and like it's a fascinating documentary.
Well,
And
yeah, on a 12-hour clock, if if you take a 12-hour clock as being the age of the Earth, right? So 0 o'clock is just the formation of the Earth, the first beginning of formation of the Earth. To our current age, mankind arrived at 11:59, 59, 9999999
yeah,
for about 20 of those,
yeah,
and that's when we began to evolve. That's
yeah,
when we began to evolve.
and they use that 24-hour clock in the catastrophe documentary that you were just talking about.
Uh-huh. Oh, they
They
talked
use
about, yeah,
they use that clock. The And I think they actually say that 11:59
right,
is when
9999.
men, is when man evolved or started
Yeah,
evolving. I think it's like 10:40 p.m. is when the asteroid hit. It was like 8:30 or something when the Earth started to unfreeze or something. Like it was
there was
great.
there
Like,
was there was nothing even close to life on Earth for billions and billions of years.
yeah,
We are really a pretty long, by our standards, by you know in as far as the universe goes, it's a blink of an eye, but by our standards, it's you know we've been baking this cake for a long time.
Pincalo says, I have to tell you now before I forget, you are expected to be watching Monday's House of Commons. Okay, well, I will make sure that I'm set up for that. I've got my workout live stream before that, so I have to make sure that I'm set up, but I will attempt to make sure that I'm set up for that. Cuz that's when
Oh,
House of Commons gets back in session.
yep.
And we
So you're gonna have are you gonna do a watch party? Is that what this is?
what I might do is I might do the coffee stream, cuz I think they well, I'm going to check CPAC's actual website,
Mm-hmm.
cuz that's where I streamed the vote from
Yeah,
on last Monday. But I'll see where they actually when they start, and I'll watch as much as I can, because I do have to go get the boys at some point on Monday from school.
gotcha. Understand that.
But yeah, I'll
Anyway,
be putting out the details of that when it gets
excellent,
closer.
excellent.
And
That'll be some fun.
yeah,
Yeah, just
there are about 31 million seconds in a day, says Wikipedia snippet. That
just that
makes me
right.
tired just thinking about it.
Well, let's see. There's 3,600 in an hour, and there's 24 hours. So if you do it that way, it seems like it'd be like 70 in the area of 70,000 seconds. I think it's less than 100,000 seconds, but I might be wrong. In a day, I mean, seconds in a day. So you're talking about seconds in a year.
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
So yeah, we've come to the end of the show, guys, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. And be sure to come back Friday for more coffee stream. And also be sure to join me tomorrow night on Twitch, because I will be streaming Mortal Kombat over there. And the Star Trek stream on Saturday, I'm going to be DMing the guys for topics, because we still don't have one yet.
oh, I promised you one, and I have part of an idea worked out. I will work on that today. I promise.
Sounds good.
I get
All
that
right.
to you.
And of course, we will see you guys later on. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Skep Talk for joining me as always.
Thank you.
And
Watch us tonight on Minions, or
yes,
Saturday
that's
night on
Hammer.
Minions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hammers tonight,
yeah.
and
Hammers
Saturday
tonight and
is
Saturday night we're on too. So
Functional
watch,
and Skep with
but
Harry.
watch Minions at all times.
Yes.
Unless Brian
All
Chris
right,
is
guys.
screaming.
Have a great day, and I'll see you on Friday.
Bye, everybody.